Hi guys, this is Ash at Audio 46. So today I'm gonna review Kinera Odin, and I have reviewed Kinera Odin before and I remember being super impressed by it, so I'm really curious to see how this one turns out. Alright, let's start. Kinera Odin comes with the earphones, 10 pair of ear tips, 1/4-inch stereo adapter plug, cleaning tool, cool carrying case, a little card, and manual. In the earpieces, there are 8 micro BA drivers, and the cable joins to the earphones by a standard non-recessed 2-pin connection. As usual, standard 4 feet terminating in a 3.5mm plug. So I'm just gonna start off by saying that I really like Kinera's boxes or cases, because I remember really liking the Kinera Odin cases, but this is even cuter. I mean, it's like mini-me toolbox. I think it's really cool. And in terms of the design of the earphones, I think it's pretty stylistic and kind of like playful and fun, because I think the little metal pieces really complements the glossy black layer of the housing. And I also really like the subdued color scheme. I think you can just match it with any outfit really easily. And in terms of the fit, these were comfortable, but the housings are kind of on the bigger size, so it did feel like it was sticking out a little bit, but after a while I got pretty used to it quickly. And in terms of the weight, these are super light. Also, I think what added on the comfort of the earphones is that the edges of the housing are very soft and round, and the earpiece itself is super light, so that really helped the whole earphone to feel more comfortable. And all the tips felt really comfortable, but on top of that, what I noticed was the sound isolation was just on point. I mean, I've been kind of releasing my stress lately by secretly blasting like late 90s to early 2000 rock band song like Fall Out Boy, who sang that? Fall Out Boy and Fountains of Wayne, and bands like that. So I think I could use some of this for sound isolation when I'm listening to music in public. Yeah. Okay guys, so I'm pretty happy because I feel like a lot of IEMs that I reviewed lately had decent low end, and Kinera Odin was definitely not an exception. I mean, I was really satisfied because it was finally warm. And on top of that, it had a great kick and detail to it, so it just made the whole range really precise. And it may not have been the strongest low end I ever heard, but it kind of gave the whole low end a texture, good sense of texture that brought out the true sound of bass instruments. And I really have to say, bass guitar, oh my god, the sound of bass guitar was so good. So of course I started off with, listening to hip hop as always. And I was like, okay, the bass is pretty good, like the low end is good. And I moved on to like jazz, classical, like pop, R&B and other genres, and I was still like, okay, this is still very good. But when I heard heavy metal and rock, the bass guitar was just like heavenly. It was so good. So with that being said, I would say the best genre on Odin would be heavy metal or rock. Okay guys, so the mid-range of Odin was very full and detailed, and it was a combination of meatiness in the sound with the crystal clear presentation. So as a result, the whole mid-range sounded very contrasting and colorful in a very good way. So with that being said, these are some of the things that I noticed. First is that the mid-range sounded really good, especially good with vocals with any rasp or husk in it. So for example, when I listen to like folk singers like Shaky Graves or Hosier, or like 90s R&B singers like Brandy, Boyz II Men, Mariah Carey, like it really highlighted the rasp and the huskiness in their voice in a very nice way. And I think it's because Odin has such good detail and contrast in the sound, so it just accentuates those little characteristics in a nice way. And another thing is that I personally felt like the mid-range sounded better, slightly, a tad bit better on male vocal than female vocal. And I think this is because it picks up the timbre or the tone of countertenor or tenor range the best. Yeah, so that's one thing that I noticed. Sorry, I blanked because every time I say the word timbre, I just think of the Pitbull song. I think he just brainwashed us, guys. So even the high end didn't stop to impress me, guys. I feel like there was this sparkle that really gave a good texture to the sound of high-end instruments and vocals, and also the instrument sounded very, very detailed. And this high-end sounded good with pretty much all the genres like pop, rock, electronica, but I found it sounding especially good with trained vocals with a slight nasalness to it. And this was because Odin's high end kind of provides this silky smooth feeling over sound. So those high nasal voices that could sound a bit harsh even sounded really good. So along the same line, even like the super soprano high pitched vocals like Mozart's The Queen of Night aria, even that kind of sounded really, really good. Okay, so guys, I'm officially impressed with Odin because even the soundstage, it offered this great sense of depth and it did a great job of putting the space between individual instruments and vocals. The only thing is when I listen to like orchestral pieces or like symphonies, it did feel tiny bit narrow. But let's say when I listened to Tchaikovsky's Symphony No. 6, it didn't stop me from enjoying the piece as it is. I think that last movement is one of the greatest piece ever. But yeah, in general, I was very satisfied with the soundstage of Odin. My final thoughts. Okay guys, so I gotta say I'm really impressed with Kinera Odin because I think all the ranges like low, mids, highs, soundstage and general sound profile was really good and I have no complaints about it. And all the frequency ranges sounded great on pretty much all the genres, I think, which I think is really important. And on top of that, I really enjoyed the fit and comfort of Odin too. So I would say I highly recommend it. Okay guys, that was it for today. I will see you guys soon. Bye!